Oh, we are.
You don't watch those meetings. Crack up.
Well, we're trying. Every meeting, we're trying to get better. What page are we on?
I will now call this meeting to order. City of Hawaiian Gardens Council, Community Redevelopment Agency, Public Housing Authority. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Director Canada?
Here.
Councilmember Director Schultz?
Here.
Councilmember Director Titus?
He made it.
Mayor Pro Tem Vice Chair Member Heckman?
Ditto.
Mayor Chair Member Frida?
Here.
Thank you. Have a quorum.
Oral communications, items on the agenda. This is a time reserved for members of the audience wishing to speak on agenda items. This period will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Maximum time allocated is 15 minutes. Discussion items. Adopt resolution number 93-2001 to approve salary expenditures. A resolution of the City Council, City of Hawaiian Gardens, County of Los Angeles, State of California, authorizing the payment of salaries and benefits for listed positions.
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call. All in favor, specify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Why would you need roll call? now?
Monies.
No.
Monies.
No, it's not money.
It's just,
Thomas.
it's just a position.
You're fine.
Okay.
See? So we don't need a roll call.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Motion carried.
Of course. John said it was okay.
Conduct workshop and discuss the City of Hawaiian Gardens budget for fiscal year 2001-2002.
Ah, he's a QP.
Mike?
Good morning. I have a couple of handouts for you. The first handout is a summary of the changes that you have proposed to your budget so far or have been discussed. As you are aware, you haven't passed the budget yet, so none of these are final. They can be changed in any manner that the council so deems. The second handout is the reason that we're really here today. It is a handout, I think they need that, and relates to the hours and time related to your Human Services Department that you requested. I would go over the summary sheet first, and then Irving and Ernesto can discuss the detailed sheets behind it. What I have done on the top sheet, in a very brief format, is list the various departments that we have in the Human Services Department. I have listed the number of hours that we have budgeted for the individual departments on the one side, both full-time and part-time, and then based on the new allocation that you will be discussing today, I've listed what the full-time and part-time hours will be. The budget right now has 395 more hours budgeted of total time than what is on this allocation sheet, so basically it's a break-even situation when you're dealing with 46,000 hours. So I will turn the meeting over to Irving unless somebody has some questions before we go into that about what this schedule is trying to do. The detailed schedules behind it will show what hours are being allocated for what programs and so forth, and that's their bailiwick. They determined how that was going to be done.
Yes, it's Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. If you want, we can go page by page, starting with transportation. And as you can see, we have a total of 6 full-time bus drivers.
Is this human resources specialist, is that the one we were talking about?
No, we're on,
No,
we're on page 2 of the thing that
on the
you just handed us.
department, the handout,
Well, we're still looking at.
Transportation Division.
Still looking at this,
If you want to discuss that, we can discuss it after we finish with the human services.
And regarding transportation, we got a situation now. We got a request from the Helen Rosa Center for the Head Start that now they're going to have classes on Fridays. So we are evaluating the scheduling, and I feel at this time that we're going to have to go to schedule everybody to Monday through Fridays, so they can cover 4 pickups for the to support the Helen the Start program. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
2 in the morning?
Yes, ma'am. We take kids. They had 2 sessions. One session goes in the morning to class, and we pick them up at 7:30, and they go home at 12:30.
2 o'clock in the morning?
no.
7:30 a.m.
7
And,
o'clock.
and they go home at 12, and we have another in the afternoon, and they go home at 4 o'clock. And before they used to go Monday through Thursdays, now they're going to have Friday classes.
also, Head Start was closed on Friday?
Yeah.
Before it was.
Yeah.
And the overtime on Saturday, we have, nutrition program on Saturday. We bring seniors to the nutrition program, 1 bus driver, and also sometimes seniors make appointments to different locations, and this driver, before the seniors get picked up to go to this nutrition program, we take seniors to different locations.
So you take the seniors to the doctors on Saturday also? If they have Saturday?
Most of the time, they are appointment local to the stores or in the area.
Give me page 3. Let's talk about that.
The next page, parks and fields. This is the staff that we have to help maintain the playgrounds and the schools facilities clean from minor things. And as you can see, we have to schedule them Monday to Sunday. So, excuse me, some of these reg leaders is going to be off 2 days, so they don't have to work 7 days.
I take it that'll be a split responsibility, right?
That's correct.
Right. What you might want to do, and what we've done in the past, so we're not making phone calls to Public Works on the weekends, and waiting for somebody to come down and open their Public Works department to get a tool or whatever. I would suggest you get, I guess you'd say, some kind of a cabinet that's locking. It's got a big lock on it, so things don't find feet and walk. And start, collecting, the tools that you'll be able to utilize for these 2 guys, because it's going to be very important that they're going to have to be knowledgeable at doing little things. I mean, you're going to need, if there's things that have to do with plumbing real quick, you might want to have a couple of pipe wrenches in there, some Teflon tape and all that kind of crap, stuff and things that help them, even in case of emergency and a special event. At least they'd have, within there would be a toolbox that they could have portable. They could take it out to FEDI or whatever and you know, and fix whatever they need to fix, you know.
Right. Currently, Human Services Supervisor Glenn Cornell is working in a maintenance plan to cover the fields, the new playground equipment that we have, and all the different, new playground equipment at the sites, and our facilities, Leeward, the pool, and Zero Early, which is the biggest one.
I know we're gonna have a little problem doing some of that before, but what I did out of SYEP, since a lot of those were hand tools, we purchased some of that stuff out of SYEP along with a toolbox. That way we taught the kids how to do it, but after the kids left, we had the tools. And we didn't have to pay general fund for those tools. So,
Sounds good idea.
nice.
Yeah,
little trick.
we also use some of the equipment that we buy for the summer food service program.
Yeah, use that stuff. You got it. Same thing. But you probably need a cabinet that locks. I mean, I had a cabinet that locked, not only locked, it had a bar across it. Okay?
Yeah,
It was pretty imposing, you know? And we didn't open it unless, somebody wanted something and we logged in the logbook who took it out. Okay? And they have to log in the logbook who's taking what tool out so that you'll know. If not, they'll find feet and walk. You know?
The cabinet's too big to walk too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, cabin was too big to walk, but
no, that'll go on wheels.
and a good thing to do with something like that is maybe you might want to put, if you have utensils, which you don't have now, you used to have. You had utensils like knives, spatulas, spoons, and stuff like that. I threw that in that toolbox too, at times, with a big skull and crossbones. It said, "Steal one of these and you die." So, but they're kind of nice because you know how it is, and if you have an event and people have carne asada and everything else, or have to cut something up. Well, where's the knife? Well, we don't have one. You know, at least you have something locked up and you know where it's at. You can go get it. See.
No, we agree on all that. And now it has been brought to our attention that with the new playground equipment at Leeward, Pioneer, there's a lot of kids that's attending those sites. And when
look
people
nice, too.
go, especially on the weekend, they leave trash behind, so we have to be consistent to have the facility clean and safe for the participants. So that's part of the maintenance plan that we're working on right now.
Yeah, and those parks look great.
Yeah.
I mean, that apparatus looks nice.
I like that new equipment.
The next page is our Mary Rodriguez Senior Center. And that one is self-explanatory. We have currently Ida and Adela in charge of all the programs, and I never get tired of saying that two ladies, they do an outstanding job.
Yes, it is.
And actually, all those compliments that we get from the seniors, it should be to these two ladies, plus Teresa with the nutrition program.
Right.
And we also support them, with recreation leader when they have food distribution or special events to set up and clean up. We have to support this staff for their program. Especially excuse me, Mr. Chair, especially the food distribution is growing. Now it's over 115 seniors sign up. And a lot of them request, to carry the heavy boxes to the buses, and even sometimes the bus driver, they go out of the way to helping out with the boxes, take it home.
Well, after we finish these community meetings, you may have more signing up.
Yeah. Now, I understand that there's a possibility that the Senior Citizens Program Coordinator, that's a possibility that there might be looking at that to go full-time and under negotiation.
That is right.
So you might want to make an adjustment in the budget to show her as full-time, just to be safe, and I I don't think any of the council here and my colleagues would have any argument with that if it was approved and negotiated, you know, in an amicable way between management and rank and file. So, you know, pending negotiations, you just want to make that adjustment. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But, you know, if they can negotiate that, then, and you get something, you know, in return.
Mayor and Council, what we'll do is that the list, that the supplemental list that Michael has given us all, we'll address that in that list.
Good.
Leeward pool is next. And I have to admit I made a mistake. I should have added one more lifeguard because we have total of 5 lifeguard listed. It should be 6.
6?
Yes, ma'am.
You have 6 instead of 5?
Uh-huh. We have one position that it was never filled.
6 lifeguards?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought the last discussion was we didn't need that many lifeguards, Leonard.
Well, not if you have 8 or 9. Yeah.
Did we have 8 or 9 before?
I think we had a lot.
Yeah, but 6 sounds like a lot too.
Well, it doesn't, it's not a matter of sounding like a lot, it's the matter of how many hours are required. It's not, it's
And
not,
as you can see,
A lot of, they
Oh,
don't
look at
work
how they're
very
broken
many
up.
hours.
as
yeah,
you-
that's why you have to have a breakdown like this to see.
yeah, as you can see, right now they schedule 7 hours a day. And actually for a lifeguard, that's too many. And that include teaching the swimming classes. And you need to see the monthly report that is coming to you in the council meeting. You're gonna see all the activities taking place at the pool,
Where does the funds come from for our pool and stuff?
General fund.
general fund.
Irving, you want also announce right now as to between now and closing of the pool, what's being taking place?
Oh yeah, starting this week, we had a sign at the pool saying for the rest of the summer, the pool is gonna be open, free of admissions, and, you know, based on your request.
Good. Good.
And, you know,
Admissions, you said?
yes ma'am. Last week was the last session for the swimming classes, and you're gonna see also in the monthly report that is coming to you that we have a lot of people taking the swimming classes. And when you're staffing, you have to consider that some of the lifeguards, sometimes they might call in sick. A lot of these kids are students at college, and sometimes they go for, you know, take classes in the summer, and not only that, they have to go to school to, you know, to get registered with class, and they might be coming late. We have one lifeguard that is, he's member of the soccer team for Canton Community College, and it's mandatory for him to train, you know, to participate in the interscholastic sports program, and all these little things. And we want to make sure that we have enough manpower, not only to cover the classes, but to comply with OSHA requirements. Because you have to have too many. It's just like when we go to an excursions. When we take it to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm, they make us, you know, let us know that we need at least one reg leader for each 10 kids. We have the same requirement for the operation of the pool. So many lifeguards for so many kids.
You plan only have, according to the schedule here, plan only to have 2 lifeguards on Thursday?
Yes, because on Thursdays they only have, from
They don't
2,
have swimming lessons, right?
not, they only have open swimming, no classes scheduled.
Well, it's a real good breakdown. I appreciate this.
Thank you, sir.
Really good job. You might want to blow it up and put it in Glenn's office.
And next is Leeward, and this is another center that is being overwhelmed with kids. And if it wasn't for Sylvia, that's another lady I gotta give a lot of credit. She's, I think she has a magnet to get kids.
Oh, yeah.
And for the two regular that we got over there, they are busy. You know, it is true that we're getting support from the youth employment program, but after September, you know, it's going to be Sylvia and one reg leader out there. And again, with the new playground equipment at Leeward, with the summer lunch program taking place at Leeward, the summer is always busy.
Oh, yeah.
And we're actually running out of space. You know, Sylvia always asks me for new equipment and all that and things like that. And I told her that she had to consider the size of the room to make it safe for the kids. Now they're going to be hitting each other with pool sticks and ping pong paddles and tether balls. So we're actually running out of space.
You might have to change, you might have to shift gears over there and start doing a lot more outdoor stuff. Because, I mean, I went down there and that place was packed.
Yes.
It was a regular.
I was talking to Mr. Vasquez to see if maybe some of the grass area we can put concrete to make it safe for the kids, to have more space for the kids to play.
Well, you know, you'd have to probably utilize that playground a little bit.
Utilize
The basketball court and, you know, that kind of thing. You know.
Sylvia uses it a lot. And sometimes you have to leave, maybe go with 15, 20 kids and leave the rest playing Nintendo, the one that are addicted to video games. They stay in the room and they have to be watched too.
Place a regular zoo.
And another thing that, you know, I just want to let you know, and we probably have to make some design to cut the noise down. Because those kids are loud, and sometimes Sylvia can even hear the phone when it's ringing.
Well, that room echoes, so it's
Yes.
terrible.
Yes, sir. So I have to talk to, I mentioned it to Joe Vasquez to see if we can put some sound barriers in there.
What about,
Why don't you just put a big buzzer like they used to have over at the pool when the phone rang, you know? That might do it.
what about some sound dampening?
You get even louder, you know?
They have the sound
108
dampening
decibels.
material that you can put on the ceiling. Would help.
And it's acoustics system
Yeah.
they have. But Leeward, and you have to be proud about the staff we have over there is, you know, with the combination of the Helen Rosa Center, the FEMIA's program, the, what's the new title? Or the, and they all get together and do things with the kids. And
That's quite an active area over
The
there.
United Community Group
right.
with FEMIA.
Is one rec leader over there sufficient for Sylvia? I mean, because I went over there one day and there were a lot of children. A lot of children outside and a lot of children inside.
Realistically, I like to see 2 reg leaders plus the reg 2. But like I said, in the summer is when we have more activities
Yeah.
and we get support from the youth jobs program and the lady that worked this nutrition program, the summer food service program. She also helped Sylvia, but
Maybe what you ought to do is do what you did over at Leeward with a pool and suck up a youth jobs person,
From here.
kind of maybe help assist in that
There is,
job site.
during the summer, there is a youth jobs program.
I want to jot all those YJP things down because when you meet with Ann Griffo, you know, you're gonna show where all the sites where you need these people. But then we don't want them to take any of our job slots away from.
And they see it because
Shoot 'em
sometimes
over
we
the
get
shoulder.
personnel from the ABC Unified School District. They go over there to the United Community Group area, and also the room downstairs they use for continuation classes. And they see all the kids, and they get amazed about the turnout. And sometimes they interfere with the activities at the health center. Because maybe the doctor's trying to do some testing and the kids are loud and all that. Or running on the hallway. And
The price is right, though, you know. They're not gonna bitch. Good price. Yeah, they're stuck there. They can't do anything. Remember, they rebuilt and patched up our, when we didn't have any money, they patched up our roof, and we signed a document saying they could be there for how long? I don't know.
until they recover the cost from
Yeah,
doing the roof and the inside damage that they occurred.
yeah. They ain't gonna move.
The next is our sport and tutorial program combined with the youth sports. And as you can see, it's 5 reg leaders and 1 full-time coordinator / supervisor. And also the baseball coaches that we are seasonal for the summer. The additional hours, sometimes they are hard to calculate because I was telling Mr. Lopez and Mr. Marquez, sometimes it's hard to tell how many hours staff need to spend in the tournaments they go. And last year in flag football, they went all the way to represent SEMA. And we usually have 3 different divisions, and the kid winning, or the teams keep winning, they keep going back to those tournaments. And those are flag football, basketball, volleyball, track and field, and they also go to this soccer tournament that they do with Truth Math.
Sports tutorial programs, 12 weeks? No, that's just.
That's year round.
That's baseball. This is year round, right?
The 12 weeks are for the
The baseball.
baseball
That's
coaches.
baseball.
Okay.
Not a 6
All right. I guess, yeah. That includes like after-school programs in football.
After-school programs at the parks,
And the schools,
and the youth sports program.
we also thinking about including Hawaiian for more programs.
No, Hawaiian's not included in this?
It's included, but to do more activities over there at the field.
What kind of activity?
More room too.
Yes, ma'am. Instead of using Ferry and Ferguson, maybe to have flag football games out there too.
Uh-huh.
That will cut down on the demand to transport kids, from Hawaiian to Ferguson.
Mayor and Council, one thing that staff is doing also is that, as you're fully aware, we have a contractual arrangement with ABC Unified School District for their fields. Once we don't have a formal one, if I recall right, regarding Hawaiian Elementary, so we're going to renew all our agreements with them, but to include Hawaiian Elementary.
Thank you. That's correct. Because that agreement expired in 2005, so we need to somehow start, negotiating a 50-year contract with the school district.
Yeah. On these sports, hell, go 75, I don't care. Might as well just beat them to death with that thing. What you want to do is maybe on this on the sports tutorial program, what sports are you funding? What sports are you active in right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's just the baseball. And where the kids were in summer school, we did a sporting tutorial at the summer school side, which was Melbourne and Ferguson Elementary.
Okay, now
And right
I know
now-
baseball, but what during the year?
Right now, we're recruiting for volleyball, for girls volleyball, and for flag football.
Irving, did you say Melbourne?
Yes, ma'am. We had a sporting tutorial program this summer at Melbourne and at Ferguson and Ferry.
Does Lakewood have any programs for the kids at Melbourne?
The ABC Unified School District's currently providing recreational activities for Melbourne after school.
But they didn't do one in the summer. And we also working together. Jesus Mendoza is working together with his coordinator from Hawaiian, Melbourne, and Ferguson to try to combine staff and programs.
So you got baseball, volleyball, flag football,
Basketball,
Basketball,
yeah, basketball.
volleyball,
track and field, and mini soccer.
Not a bad
Now, is
idea.
that on here, the hosting of the Junior Olympics?
we're gonna add that.
We are after January.
You know, when we moved here in '62, I moved over here with 5 little ones and 1 in the oven. My neighbors, I moved from Norwalk because we had like 96 kids on my block, So my close friends, they would come over to see where I was living, and the best programs at Melbourne at the time, so they would come over and we'd take all the kids down there to play. It was the best program. So someone's always been looking after the little ones.
And
That's good.
And for your information also regarding youth sports, I've been getting together with one of the commissioners in public safety, Mr. Hamilton, because it's a program for low-income kids to go to, can't remember this golf place. It's similar to a program that used to be sponsored before called Get Kids Hooked in Golf. And we're thinking about taking kids on weekend to learn how to play golf. And they provide all the cost. The only thing they will do is make sure that we transport them, they have the required forms, and sign them up.
You get lessons?
Free lessons,
How can I sign up?
free lessons, and at the end they do like a tournament they play. And he said it's an outstanding program.
We can work John in on that, can't we?
Yeah. The beverage carts would be filled with juicy juice and chocolate milk, but other than that, it'd be a pretty good tournament. Yeah, it'd be great.
That's
I'll tell you.
that's what we pray.
Be like Freddie, he just bangs his on the green.
That's why we pray that Tiger will keep winning a lot of money because he's one of the
he's
major
doing
sponsors.
The major sponsors, right? The Tiger Woods Foundation is doing that. Yeah, that's cool. Take him down to Hartwell. We'll get Freddie Boy out there and he'll show him how to hit the ball.
Okay, next page is
Let's say, bend your legs.
R.C. Robert Lee.
What do you know?
Do we have 8 back there now, or is that adding?
Say it again, ma'am?
You have here
This
8
is basic,
rec leaders and,
this is the number of people we really have on board right now. There's not anybody being added at this point.
just thinking.
Looks very good. Making sense.
And our next page is our boxing program. And you know, needless to say how outstanding that program has been with the new boxing coach and the addition of the assistant boxing coach, plus a great number of volunteers that we're getting.
Yeah, I've stopped by once or twice over there. It's really going great over.
And the program's on
Plus, they have, you know,
people every day.
the unity you see between these kids over there is really something else. I stopped in there one day, and I guess one of the young ladies had a birthday going on or something, so they had a cake in there for her also.
Mhm.
Got everybody around. It's a great program.
Yes, we have great staff, and that's what happened. We have
Obviously,
good
look
staff.
what we have going for us with George Gomez right now.
You know, if there
It's
could
a
be,
good
you know,
role
like,
model.
I was hoping that maybe, you know, as time goes on in the boxing program, and like these kind of programs that we have going, and the kids come there and they participate and they're off the streets, they're doing what what we're trying to get them to do. You know, we should try to encourage them to, to continue to do that by offering them like a swim day or, something like that, or a picnic, just for the boxing team.
Yeah, something to break the monotony of the boxing.
Maybe we could, maybe we could take them to Dodger Stadium for the day and, buy a group of tickets or something. Stuff like this to keep them going, something that shows that the city, appreciates what they're doing and, it gives them that much more positive feeling about what they're doing. And to me, that would be really important for, especially the kids in the boxing program. They work there day in and day out, and, it just seems to me like we should augment the program enough to try to do these little things. There's probably money in there to do it anyway, but I'd like to see it, in other budgets, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's probably money in there to buy some hamburgers or hot dogs and say, today it's no workout day, we're going to go down to the park and
Not like it's a daily
have a
thing.
picnic, go have a picnic or whatever, and with the boxing participants, and that kind of stuff.
For your information, also, on the program we are planning for the 16th of September, we're going to do a special recognition to George and the other kid that won the gold medals in Mexico City.
Great.
What happened to his arm, to his hand? Is that going to affect?
Ma'am, he's started working out. He's working out with one hand. They'll probably start him working out with the second hand, the hand that was injured next week. They're just being extra cautious in working it out, but they think it's healed right now, and he'll be able to fight in Marshall.
No kidding. Hey, finance director's up on this stuff.
Now we know why he's over there.
Oh,
He's
pretty good.
watching the kids box.
And also, I'm not a doctor, but I read a lot of things, pertaining to boxers, and these are common injuries. And the boxer, the knuckles get bruised.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, I always brag about Alexis Arguello. He was from
Arguello, yeah.
Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm. I remember him.
He suffered a big damage on his left hand. And sometimes the opponent felt that he was fixing the wrong way because he came back stronger. knock people down.
He inserted a couple of metal bolts in there. Or something. Your hand looks funny.
So, again, Manuel is, very professional. He has experience, and he's making sure that this kid doesn't get hurt bad and will damage his future, because this kid has a future.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when he made the box, he'll remember us.
Well, I also like the fact the kid has his head squarely on his shoulders, too.
Yes, sir. That's why he went so far, because he's there. But also his parents get a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
Certainly. That goes without saying.
Yes, sir. And the last program, which is also we getting good turnout, is the weightlifting program. Before we have the weight room coordinator working some morning hours, but lately they kind of slowed down, and it was brought to my attention because some of these ladies, they were coming and exercise, and a couple of seniors, they were in Mexico on vacations. So I might have to come back to you for direction to see if you wanted to continue the morning hours. Last night I was approached when I was leaving from a couple of the ladies. They wanted us to see if we can buy some steps. Because right now we have one lady to volunteer to
Aerobics?
do aerobics, and she said that the reason they had a low turnout in the summer is because a lot of ladies were on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is taking place in the mornings. And these are ladies that don't work, but they want to exercise. And they do aerobics and a little bit of weightlifting.
Well, they're part of the community, too, I think. we're
And,
for.
and also Ida Barba has been trying to get more seniors. We started with 3. Right now we only have 1 that been consistent.
Mm.
He requested to have staff 5 days a week. So I told him that was going to be too much on him to spread his workout 3 times a week. So he understood.
Yeah, well, when we start getting my age, we start.
Speak for yourself, Johnny.
Irving, I think, if you recall at the community meeting, one of the council members stated that the programs are based on need. And I'm sure that you'll find that if you show the need, that the mayor and council are generous when it comes to the services provided for seniors and for youth.
That's correct. And that's what we're evaluating right now.
Well, so with the city administrator. I mean,
Yeah.
you really got to go to him and show him and say, hey, look, this is what's happening, and yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. They can come to
Yeah,
us.
he's the number 1 boss.
You know, we're going to go along with it. If we see the need there, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And like I always say, I appreciate all your support. I have told you, some of you, that I am in this field because that was my vocation. I did not land up in recreation by accident. And I think we have a community that really need recreation, and the leisure time is precious to some of our residents. So our goal is to get the best level of service, and that's what we had in mind. Not only the level of service, but the maintenance of the facilities and the operations, to be consistent and according to what is budgeted. And I know last year, actually since we had the call back on people that were laid off, it has been hard to try to have the staff to focus in one program. Like right now we have recreation leader assigned to sport and tutorial, supporting our programs at night at Zero Early. So this budget, it give you a breakdown so they can only focus in a specific programs and control his hour more efficiently.
Right. Well, you know, you got to go by task, and that's how you understand how to manage those hours, you know, because you just look at what you've budgeted and understand how it works by task, and you can keep within your budget, and you can, you know, and plus you have a handle on what it takes to, you know, to put them all together, you know.
Yeah, and also all this paperwork, you know, I had to give credit to Ernesto and Mike. This reflects a total of 16 reg leaders, and we short 4. So that means if we go with this plan, we need to add 4 reg leaders.
Now you tell me.
You need to what? I mean, it's your plan, it's not my plan.
There is a decrease in hours, but what we're doing is we're limiting the hours per employee. But that's going to enable us to better serve the residents by limiting the hours and just having them assigned to specific tasks. What's happened in the past is we've had rec leaders working in the sports tutorial program, working youth sports, and doing excursions and a wide variety of other things,
Right.
which kind of jacked the hours up drastically. So in an effort to keep a better handle on the operation of our programs there, the spreadsheets we prepared do reflect the need for 4 additional rec leaders. But once
Yeah.
again, when you look at the big picture, there is still a decrease in hours.
You're decreasing the overtime.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right.
So you have 16 now?
12.
We currently have 12.
12 different people.
Now, also, you know, some are reg leaders support other city programs. You know, most recently has been the cleanup program and the special meeting that we have, the Leeward mobile homes. And that's one example.
Yeah, they would charge that to CDBG though and stuff like that,
right.
right?
No, you probably observed that staff that was doing the setup for the meeting at the Leeward mobile homes, they were reg staff. So we don't mind to going out of our way to support the rest of the departments. And that's what the overtime sometimes occur, because they're doing some other assignments besides the regular duties.
One of the advantages also is that by what's being proposed in the schedule by the 4 people is that not only provide the number of services, but assure of not taking away from other recreational services. So when they're shorthanded and they start diversing so much into the different programs, then somewhere along the line, somebody's going to be cheated when it comes to recreational programs. So at this time, I also like to add to that list that Michael has provided in regards to the 4 positions. And needless to say, we'll go back with all that, you know, with this list, and then we'll come back to you all and see how is it we can implement this.
Well, I think we all agree on programs. We just want to make sure we're getting our money's worth.
And in a brief summary, what we're really trying to do is address your concerns. One, maintaining the level of program and services that we're offering. And number 2 is making sure our facilities are clean.
Yeah.
It's been a big problem, and Irving has been working really hard with his staff, and there are going to be some changes taking place.
Good.
And we really feel good about them being really positive, so.
Yeah, my major concern is, you know, has been the cleanliness of the facilities over there, because that's the first thing that people see when they come in there.
With that in mind, our responsibility is gonna be that we make sure we provide those programs and services according to the hours that have been budgeted. So,
Well, you know, if we show them we're taking care of the facilities, they're more likely to take care of them also.
The, if I can interject here. Some of those hours, I don't know where you know, we have lifeguards. And what happens is, of course, is a lot of times we pull the lifeguards during the summer out of some of these programs. Okay? And looking at like C. Robert Lee, okay, and some,
I think though they brought in seasonal people to replace the lifeguards when they did, and they were brought in just for the summer, and then they will be, and they were told they were seasonal when they were hired.
Right.
And they're gonna be, when the lifeguards come back, those people will then have their temporary assignments in.
right. But my point is that I don't see that reflected in any of the budgets here.
We were reflecting total hours as opposed to individual.
Positions.
Okay.
So that, in other words, if, you know,
Okay.
if he works if he's a lifeguard, we put in so many, needed hours for lifeguarding. If they're needed, see Robert Lee, the number of hours needed.
Okay, all right.
We did not try to define
Define
individual
who's
names,
gonna slip
who's gonna
over.
do what. That's the scheduling person. What we're looking
Okay.
for in this budget is the total
Just the
number of
task.
hours. And
That's right.
we know what the basic rates are for these individuals as far as costs, so then it's up to them to figure out how to best utilize the manpower.
Okay, all right. That's good. If we have that, you know, if you're looking at your sports programs going to Hawaiian, does your budget reflect that on Hawaiian?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not specifically on Hawaiian, but in the special hours needed.
Yeah, so you got Ferguson.
Melbourne, Hawaiian,
Hawaiian.
and Fetty. We're also
And
gonna be
Fetty.
serving Fetty.
Okay.
Yeah, Ferguson and Ferry are number one location now.
And another thing to keep in mind, we're also gonna be utilizing like contract employees that we hire through the ATGM program to do officiating, to kinda use our resources or try and be as resourceful as possible, so.
Mhm.
That's also gonna be a part of the sports component.
Okay, all right.
Is that what that is?
I believe, Mayor and Council, you agree with me that excellent breakdown, excellent presentation,
Yeah.
much better picture.
Much easier to understand, much better.
And again, you know, it's thanks to Mr. Lopez, Mr. Blasenki, Mr. Marquez, all the inputs, different ideas, and that's what teamwork is all about. And that's why we try to emphasize to the rest of the staff, from myself all the way to the seasonal and regulars.
Two heads are always better than one. No one person can be expected to know everything.
We'll have to follow our standard hiring procedures and go from there.
Over 55?
Yeah, you're gonna, your maintenance folks are definitely gonna have to be somebody who knows how to handle things, okay? So, they're gonna be people who can put two and two together and,
That's what I hate
Learn
to
how to handle
lose Mr. Trimble.
no, you didn't have to, you didn't have to lose him. I told you what you could do with him.
He's a full-time bus driver.
You could have made him a bus driver / maintenance guy. Recreation maintenance. You can still do that if you want. I don't think you'd have too much of a problem. You know? So, but that's the kind of guys you need.
Got a can-do attitude, and he can do.
She's better, huh? You know, she actually gonna call me instead of her daughter. But she said our bus driver really helped her a lot, so he was a sweetheart.
Mary,
She fell.
right. In fact, Lucy was just making me aware, and what we're going to do is there's going to be a proclamation at the next council meeting for the one of our bus drivers help. Well, Lucy, why don't you go ahead?
He got her help.
Yesterday, as Sue was leaving the doctor's office, because her knee was hurting her, her knee was snapping on the way down the stairs, and by the time she got to the bottom of the stairs, it completely snapped and she fell. And as she was there in excruciating pain from what she described to me, some people kept walking by, and the bus driver, Gonzalo, right? Gonzalo ran to her, not knowing that she was our city clerk, ran to her and, asked what he could do, if he could call somebody, and she just told him, get help. And he did, and he was trying to help her, as well as, continue with his job. He was either picking up or dropping off seniors, and he was extremely concerned about her health and getting help to her. So he was able to manage to get someone to come and help her. And he said he felt really bad because he had to continue on his route because he didn't want the seniors that he was picking up and dropping off to be late. So he stood with her for a little bit to make sure that she was fine and that the help arrived. And Sue said that she was extremely thankful and appreciative that he really went out of his way, and he to help her.
Yeah, she
As
said
other
it was
people,
sweetheart.
kind of walked by and just looked at her like, what are you doing on the floor?
That shows you the caliber of our people.
Yeah.
So she was extremely grateful, and it was brought to Mr. Lopez's attention, and we're going to be formally recognizing Gonzalo's.
Yeah, she called her daughter, and she accidentally my number. But she was gonna try to go back to work and do some extra stuff,
I think,
Wow.
Going back to work with painkillers, and as the painkillers started
no, but that was,
off,
I wonder what her work looked like with the painkillers.
she actually ended up spraining her knee.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's very painful.
It's a weird
That
feeling when that
hurts.
kneecap slips,
Well,
Is she on crutches?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's currently on crutches.
That's what
Well.
happened to me when I fell down at the market.
we definitely want to commend this young man, though.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, all of our bus drivers, as most of our rec staff, are all first aid and CPR certified, right?
Now, I've had other people tell me that they really appreciate what.
Yes, sir, but they also have to, because of their requirement, they have to be first aid and CPR.
Now, it's good to know that they care and they can do that stuff, but also heartening to know that they've been trained to handle those things, and that's what it's all about. I think that we have a number of individuals in the city that do the same thing, but they're trained too. It's great. I mean, that's. I went over to the youth jobs program, and all the kids over there are learning how to do first aid and CPR, and they're going to get first aid and CPR cards. I mean, like I told, I was talking to Ed Chavez, the assemblyman, yesterday, and I was telling him that I was really impressed the fact that all of our kids were getting first aid and CPR cards. I said, if they get a job somewhere else, if they go to apply somewhere else, I don't care if they go to McDonald's even. If they walk into McDonald's and say, I'm looking for a job and everything, and they're listing all the things they have, and they say that there's first aid and CPR certified, I mean, that's going to be pretty impressive. So
Not bad for this little city, I'll tell you.
it's a good thing.
Mayor and Council, I need to remind you, as you're fully aware, we've been having in-service training for staff, and you're all welcome to attend also. But the next in-service trainings will be 11 o'clock today. So
Here?
just here.
55 minutes.
Good, because I got to take my kid at 11 to the doctor.
Okay. I don't know if you wish, today, Mr. Figueroa had to conduct another activity, and that's why he's not here, because One of the items that we did table was in regards to law enforcement. I don't know if you want to wait until the next budget session, and then we'll just have Mr. Piguero here, or if you wish to.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would say that if we could, prior to Mr. Piguero making his presentation,
Yes, sir.
that you supply the council with the deployment plan, the cost breakdown for the county sheriff's department, and let's see where we're at, you know.
Okay.
I think we're about a little over 1.8 right now, if I remember right. And that way we could at least have an idea, you know, all the council will have an idea of what we're paying for.
Yeah.
And how much it's costing us, as it is a big chunk out of our budget, so. you
Oh,
know.
I might add too, this is kind of a little off the subject, but still on the subject as far as enforcement is concerned. As you know, at our first community meeting, there was some concern voiced about Bloomfield Mobile Home Park there, and coverage by our sheriff's department. I talked to the officer last night, and they do definitely go over there, and they patrol regularly. They are very well aware that Bloomfield belongs to the Hawaiian Gardens, so.
Okay. Would it be your pleasure, do you wish to continue or recess until the next budget session?
We can recess to the next budget session,
Which will be?
which will be.
And
you're the
your
mayor.
pleasure will be for what day,
We'll try and get it out by the end of this month, I hope. So we can get a budget. Okay, here we are. We have these days open.
This is Thursday.
August the 29th.
We have a meeting tonight?
Did any of the council have questions on the summary sheet since I brought it? I thought I had heard that there might be some questions. I could answer those quickly for you so that you'd have those answers before the next meeting?
Yeah.
Yes. If there are any questions, I'll be delighted.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Specialist,
Why don't we cover that
Okay,
before we adjourn?
the numbers that you see here for these individuals is not the salary that they will be paid. It includes the benefits, and benefits run a significant amount of money, because Mr. Lopez asked me the same question, and that includes what the benefits are for somebody as well. So the actual salary is significantly less than $74,000.
And the same way with the public works, to part-time, to full-time.
Right, that's two individuals, and that's the differential
That's
between,
approximately what
right.
additional means.
Well, my big question was.
That's divided by two people, the 43. In other words, approximately $20,000
Human
more each.
resources specialist?
Yeah, my question was, the human resources specialist. I thought we had asked for a human resources director.
I would like to give you a further breakdown and also a job description in regards to that.
Gonna be a
Yeah,
jack of all
yeah.
trades.
That should be a, I mean, you're looking for somebody who's gonna be a professional here doing this stuff. Otherwise, you're gonna get a human resources analyst applying for these jobs. I don't think we need that. We're gonna need somebody who's got.
I'll
more
upgrade
stuff
that.
together.
I misinterpreted what was discussed prior.
So right now, our increase in expenditures is 264,000.
Plus today you've increased the human services, the resources director will be an increase in, and we are increasing the senior program coordinator based on the fact of that person going to full-time. I have one more lifeguard to put in here and see how many, that won't be significant, but that'll be a couple of dollars. So I would guess we're gonna be in around $300,000 that
Over
we're
our budget?
over what having spending exceed revenues.
We better find some money. Okay, where are we gonna,
All right,
We're talking the 29th. It's on a Wednesday at 8:30 a.m.
The 20
29th, yeah.
What's today, the 23rd?
Today is the 23rd.
how about Monday? There's nothing Monday.
Says here, summer bank holiday in the UK.
What?
Yeah. That's what I got too.
What?
Says on
But
my
it's- mine
calendar,
says
it
except in
summer bank
Scotland.
holiday in the UK.
Except in Scotland. They don't have that in Scotland.
Is that in our MOU?
Probably is.
Where am having a regular one on the 28th, right?
So,
Regular
yeah, regular council meeting the
okay.
28th.
Yeah,
29th sound good?
so we don't wanna have two meetings,
Or what do you want to do?
know,
You want to do the day before, the
think
day
one more
after, or
meeting
you
will
want to
do
go to Thursday?
Or not?
The 20,
do it the 29th. I mean, if it's all right with everybody else.
29th,
29th?
fine with
We
me.
have nothing else better to do.
Okay,
okay.
8:30 a.m.
Same time,
Can't?
no. Okay.
Okay.
What about the
30th.
20,
What about the 30th?
On the 29th, are you available in the afternoon, Mrs. Cannon?
would be late afternoon, I have a doctor's appointment. Okay.
What about,
What about the 30th?
which is Thursday?
So I'm open.
I'm okay.
Everybody else?
Okay,
Okay.
30th
30th,
What time?
8:30 a.m.
at 8:30 a.m.?
That's why I'm hoping we'll get it done.
We don't have nothing Monday.
You thought, you like Monday.
Well, 3 days aren't going to make a difference.
Oh, I'm anxious after that weekend to get started.
Well, hopefully, if everything goes right, we should have a budget we could live with
I'll
by...
put it on budget approval for Tuesday.
Okay, so we all agree
have a
on the
special meeting.
30th?
30th, 8:30 a.m.
Okay, do I have a consensus to,
For redevelopment, then we get an extra $30. You know, and John gets to tag on more hours. You know.
do I
Oh,
have
the
a
cameras are
motion to
on.
continue this budget session until Wednesday, the 30th, 8:30 a.m.?
So moved.
No, don't move. Thursday
move.
the 30th.
Thursday, the
Thursday.
30th.
Yeah, look at your
Thursday, the 30th, 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Stop trying to confuse us, Petra.
And I move that we adjourn to 8:30 a.m. Thursday, the 30th. Or to August 28th, rather, pardon me. Fix the mouth here. Move adjournment to regular council meeting August 28th, 6 p.m.
Okay, so ordered.
No vote.